Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So today's video is going to be an account tour and it's quite simple. It's been quite a while since I last did an account tour of mine, and more and more of you have asked me for an updated one or asking me to showcase them during the stream, so on and so forth. So I figured I might as well make a video about it because yes, it is has been in fact quite a while. I think last one I did was when I reached 2 million. Either way, so here is like the basic account overview stats that you all can take a look at it as well by yourself. So I don't know why I'm showing it, but the point is I do have currently 669 total number of heroes. Total base hero rating is 2,244,000. So slowly but surely it's climbing up. My prestige is 11,485. Now I could increase it by quite a bit because I do have 2 tier 5 CCs that I have not used yet, but we're gonna get to that in a bit. On my profile, at least I myself can see Nick Fury, Chorus Glaive, Dr. Doom 5-star, and rank 2 Warlock. So that is like the initial outlook for my profile. And I suppose we're gonna start off with the champion section. And once again, when it goes to the 2 stars, I haven't been like extensively collecting them or doing Marvel Insider, so on and so forth. So I do definitely have quite few 2 stars that are in game that are unavailable, but for the most part they are at least all ranked up. I still have to go and finish that easy quest this monthly so I can get that 2-star Ebony Maw. Definitely must remind myself to do that. When it comes to 3 stars, vast majority of them are maxed. Now I have been slacking off quite a bit lately, and I do have about 8 now that are not maxed out, so I do need to do some daily quest grind to try and rank these guys up a bit more quickly and effectively, because I do occasionally the 3-star master mode challenge and stuff like that, so I end up using 3 stars, so it's in my best interest as well to rank them up. Last couple of months have been quite hectic and busy, so I don't think I did master mode at all, but I certainly try to get back to doing it, more than likely at least the completion runs. And yeah, so 3 stars, that pretty much means that we have all available 3 stars in the game except for T-Rex and Mole Man, so that's cool. And when we go 4 stars, I haven't really done anything with my 4 stars for like the last couple of years, really. I think during this year, not during last year, I ranked up maybe 3 or 4 of them just for the sake of some videos and just so I can actually complete some of the content / challenges that I set for myself. But the 8 tier 4 basics is far too much to invest in a 4-star champion. That's effectively just kind of like a fan rank up for you. So yeah, no, I have stopped taking any and all 4-star champions past rank 3 for a really long time. So I do have about 50 something 4 stars maxed out, but that number is not going to change significantly for a while. When it comes to 4 stars missing, then again it's going to be 4-star Thanos, T-Rex, and Deadpool. I do have 4-star Mole Man. Hey, so we do have vast majority of the 4 stars, so that's kind of cool and neat. And obviously all of them are awakened. If some of them are not, then we can use some awakening gems, because these things are consistently expiring. Because of all the max ability 4-star crystals, you can get these gems quite frequently, so you don't really have where and how to use them. And let's move on to the 5 stars now, and it goes to total number of 5 stars that I have. It is 151. I did a count just before I started the video, and when it comes to maxed out 5 stars, then that would be about 31. Yes, 31 maxed out 5 stars. They start from Dr. Doom, Silver Surfer, Phoenix, Captain Marvel movie, Mr. Fantastic, Deadpool, and I'm not gonna go over all of them, but it's a fairly colorful bunch with some interesting choices. Now that it's becoming easier and easier to max out 5 stars, probably we'll end up doing some more relatively colorful and fun rank ups as well. But yeah, so here we go, all 31 of them. How many champions I have at rank 4? I haven't counted that. So that would be 11, 17, 23, 29, 30, 31, 32, 32. So basically the same amount as rank 5s. I have rank 4s as well. Black Widow is a rank 4 5-star and Mordo is rank 3. So that is where the split happens basically. And everything below. Vast majority of my 5-stars are at rank 3, and I think about the last 20 are rank 1, because it's quite hard to invest resources in champions that are 5-star if you have them as a 6-star, for instance. I have duped Sentry, I have duped Beast, I have duped Ebony Maw, I have Diablo, I have duped Rocket Raccoon, duped Iron Man, Infinity War, duped Cable, duped Carl, Symbiote Supreme, and whole vast majority of these champions that are stuck at rank 1 are stuck at rank 1 for that exact reason, just because I have them as a 6-star, so I'm not as compelled to take up to at least rank 3. I might still do that, but I'm not sure about it. There's still quite a bunch of, well, not quite a bunch, some 5-stars missing. Abomination, Black Bolt, Daredevil, Doctor Strange, Mole Man, Nova, Punisher, Squirrel Girl, T-Rex, and Wolverine X. Hopefully I can get the Mole Man, Nova, and Squirrel Girl from next feature, because I believe those will be included in the next featured 5-star crystal, and I do intend to open as many as I can of them, and then the rest of them are pretty much kind of like the novelty older champions that are relatively rare and hard to obtain. So all in all, I think I'm doing quite well in my 5-star game. 6-star game though is completely different. 6-star roster is nowhere near as complete, and it's quite a bit more sad. Now I do have some cool champions. Obviously we do have rank 3 Nick Fury and Courage Glaive, which are amazing and super helpful daily. Warlock at SIG 200, so I'm just waiting for the tech catalyst to come, but unfortunately I haven't been able to get pretty much any TF5CC fragments for tech class. Total number of 6-stars is 72. Obviously vast majority of them are quite bad, but there are some prospects, and after exploring Act 6 you get 3 of those rank 1 to 2 gems as well, so I do suspect that I'm going to be using them in quite near future. Here is the duped Thanos now. Kabam did send later on that extra copy of Thanos for Abyss top 20 rewards, because they did mess up and they didn't do it initially, but either way we do have a 6-star Thanos, so that's cool. That's a cool trophy champ, quite happy with that. But other than that, champions that I do have plans to rank up, despite what everybody says, and I completely understand that I might come up as a bit of a stuck up guy, I do not have any immediate plans to take up 6-star Ghost, because number one, I do have a maxed out 5-star Ghost, and I do believe that the max SIG 5-star Ghost is far superior to a rank 2 unduped or low SIG 6-star Ghost. And I will not be taking my Ghost to rank 3 up until such point as I can take my Warlock to rank 3. So there is no rush for Ghost to go up whatsoever. I'm only probably going to rank her up only at a point where Warlock is already at rank 3. I do have another TF5CC. That's probably going to be quite a distant future from now, at least probably half a year or so. We'll see how the game progresses, but yeah, Ghost isn't going up anytime soon. The champions that might be going up quite soon might be Massacre and Red Hulk. If I rank up Domino, then I would kind of try and rank them up as a trinity. Perhaps it could be Vision Arcus, perhaps it could be Symbiote Supreme. What else am I considering? Maybe Gulk, Mephisto or Morningstar, possibly. Do not really want to take up on too many of the champions that are unduped, and so it kind of like depends how my roster changes. If I dupe Void, I take him up. If I dupe Thing, I take the Thing up, so on and so forth. But I do not have too many kind of like obvious choices to use it. I obviously have decent champions I could take to rank 2 easily, but I want to make sure that I make the right decisions with those rank up gems, because they are quite valuable, and also they do not expire, unlike catalysts, so I'm much more inclined to use my tier 5 basics, tier 2 alphas that are in overflow before I jump to using those rank 1 to 2 gems, because they are kind of like, yeah, in a safe spot. They're not going anywhere. right? But yeah, that is my 6-star roster. In addition to the rank 3 Nick Fury and Corvus Glaive, the Warlock, Black Widow, Wasp, and Human Torch all are rank 2, even though 3 of them are unduped, but they still do really well for the account, especially like 6-star Human Torch obviously was one of the MVPs for Abyss, and I did not miss his Awakened ability even one bit. Wasp comes ever so useful. I'm gonna lie if I'm gonna say that I use her all day, every day, but she definitely has had her moments throughout a difficult piece of content. Black Widow I use fairly frequently. Warlock is just insanely useful, and I would like my next 6-star rank ups to be just as useful as the ones I have made already. So it's always a fairly big deal of consideration when I go for taking the champions up. But yeah, that is pretty much my champions covered. Now we can cover the inventory, and we're going to jump to catalysts. Now catalysts, I'm going to quickly go through everything. The tier 4 basics, tier 5 basics I have maxed, and a whole bunch of overflow, and tier 2 alpha as well. When it comes to tier 5 class catalyst situation, then I have 1 mutant and 1 mystic catalyst, so I could take up 2 more champions right now if I chose to, if I would come to a conclusion. Other than that, cosmic shard level is low, and mystic shard level is low, and as well tech shard level is low. They're only at 11k something, so that's like a quarter of a catalyst there. But tier 5 mutant, I am close to forming one. That would be the first one I form ever. Currently I am just under 6,000 shards away from forming the mutant one, and also the skill one is relatively close. Skill one is 9,000, 8,500 away, so that is not too far either. I would have to get lucky with one of the 25% catalyst thingies, fragment crystals, and then I would form one. So it's gonna probably be either skill or mutant, the first catalyst that I form from fragments. Tier 5 science is stuck somewhere in the middle, so that's not too bad either. And yeah, you can jump to the catalyst stash, then we have a whole bunch to go through. So there will be quite a few more rank ups coming from my channel, from my account, in a near future, within the next 20 days, I would say. How much? Yeah, 22 days, 20 days, something like that. So there's probably going to be at least a new rank 5 or 2 every week or something like that. Yeah, so that is the catalyst situation sorted. The ISOs, these are the 6.3 boosts, a huge fail of an experiment. When it comes to awakening gems, I have a 5-star generic one and a 6-star generic one. Obviously 6-star generic one I could put to a good use immediately, but it's a fairly responsible and decently big decision, so I would ideally like to be able to use some of my regular ones, or at least have a bit more clear picture what my next rank ups are going to be, to know that I can make absolutely the right decision. I know for a fact that generic one is probably going to get used in the next couple of months or a month, but before I actually do pull the trigger on this thing, I want to make sure that I have done everything I can to make an educated decision. So then I also have a cosmic 6-star awakening gem, as well as tech 6-star awakening gem, and a science 6-star awakening gem. So there's quite a few classes. Unfortunately, I cannot rank up any champions from those classes because I do not have tier 5 CC or enough fragments to kind of like be near to forming tier 5 CC. So these will have to stay in back burner. I haven't gotten exactly the class awakening gems that I was looking for, but they're still there. I'm sure inevitably they will get used and be useful. As 5-star awakening gems, I have far too many tech ones. I'm sitting on 3 right now. 2 mutant awakening gems 5-star, 2 science 5-star awakening gems, no skill unfortunately, and no cosmic ones. But yeah, we still have the generic 5-star. Items, my boost stash, the actual boost stash is like nearly empty. That's has to be replenished. Obviously when it comes to actual revives and items, there's nothing too much. Signature stones, when it comes to 5-star signature stones, I'm perfectly set. I'd say I'm able to max sig out any one or any two champions that I choose at any given moment, so that kind of gives me the comfort of cushion, knowing that if I have to absolutely use 5-star signatures notes, I can. But then we also have like several classes where I could easily just use the awakening gems from my class collection and be well on my way to maxing them out. 6-star awakening gems, we're starting to accumulate some. In some classes I have like 40-50 class gems in total, like in between +1 and +5s. I have used all my cosmic 6-star gems and my skill ones on Nick Fury and on Corvus. I am starting to accumulate tech ones already, slowly but surely, and then the rest of the 3 classes I still have a fair chunk. And rank up gems, I have used vast majority of the ones that I do have, and the ones that I got from 6.4. I do have quite a few videos to make, because I took like Dr. Octopus to rank 4, Mysterio to rank 4, and some other champions that randomly got taken up to rank 4. That is pretty much it with my item stash. When it comes to content progression, I'm sure it's not gonna come as a real surprise, but we're done, as in with everything, just like the monthly things. But yeah, we have all Act 6 100%, so that is quite cool. It was definitely a bumpy ride. 6.1 started out with a very controversial 4-star ban, which is annoying, but the content itself wasn't too bad. 6.2 was a gated nightmare for many, including myself. That was like the first time ever where I felt that my roster is inadequate in some areas, so I can only imagine how tricky and difficult it is for many other people. 6.3 was cooler, but still difficult, at least no gate. 6.4 was probably the best quest they released, and definitely the best boss fight. And event quests, we have all of the variants explored 100%, so that's cool. And special quest, obviously Labyrinth and Abyss, are 100% as well now. So now we are waiting patiently for the next big challenge. That's always kind of like the downfall of being very eager to rush and finish all the content, is the fact that you always end up waiting for something to come out. But I'm sure I'm going to figure out how to keep myself entertained meanwhile. And all that being said, I believe that will pretty much do for now. More or less I showed everything. I showed inventory, showed catalyst, showed champions, showed progression, all that good stuff. Yeah, that's it. And if you like this video, then definitely hit that like button, hit that sub button. Keep in mind that in 3-4 days, featured 5-star hero crystals changing. I will hopefully have at least 10 of those to open from get-go. So if you are interested in seeing that and do not want to miss that, hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe button, and be one of the first ones to catch that 10 featured 5-star crystal opening. There's going to be a 6-star crystal that's opened at the same time as well, hopefully. And all in all, there's going to be a lot of good stuff posted on this channel. So if you enjoy MCOC content, hit that sub button. With that, I will bid you adieu and catch you guys soon. See ya.